My ears are still ringing. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of TENET. Finally! TENET, of course, is Christopher Nolan's new movie that he wrote and directed, at starring Mr. John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, and Elizabeth Debicki. Am I saying that right? I hope so. And what can we say about TENET that is not really spoilery or trying to explain it? I think you guys get the concept. I really probably don't even need to explain it. I tried to explain it to my mom earlier today, and I was like, yeah, it's a espionage thriller spy-esque that has to do with time travel, and things are moving backwards and forwards, something called inversion. Kenneth Branagh's character, of course, is the antagonist of this plot, and John David Washington is the protagonist of the plot. And then, of course, you have Robert Pattinson and Elizabeth Debicki, who's also involved in this story. That's basically, Kenneth Branagh's character is like, he might be wanting the world to, like, kind of implode in on itself. So we got to stop him. But there's this inversion thing that is now throwing like a nice little monkey wrench and all that. So you got to kind of utilize the whole time travel thing that is inversion to your benefit, definitely. So definitely a mind fuck. They could have called this movie Mind Fuck. Can't expect anything less from Christopher Nolan. So what did I think of Tenet? Loved it. Can't wait to see it again. And I know I made the joke that this movie is loud. Holy shit. If you thought Dunkirk was loud, holy shit. Wait till you hear this. You got that score and everything that's happening. I mean, you feel this in your balls. And if you don't have balls, you'll still feel them in there. No, it's another excellent movie from Christopher Nolan. I mean, obviously, when it was announced, I already knew I was going to love it. I think a lot of us felt that way. But, you still got to go in and watch the movie and kind of take it all in. And yes, it can get confusing. I totally understand that. A lot of people are I've seen on my timeline are still confused. I pretty much got relatively everything because as it unfolds, and that's what the beauty of the story is. And I think, yes, the audio being so loud can work against it. I know Nolan seems to have an issue when it comes to audio, because I remember when Dark Knight Rises came out and the whole trying to understand Tom Hardy and the Bane mask, that was a little bit of a problem. And then I think they tweaked some things to make it sound a little bit better, because in that first trailer you couldn't really hear anything. Sometimes it's hard to understand what the people are saying, especially when they are wearing like gas masks or like they have the thing over their face. A little bit difficult, so it's kind of like, okay, yeah, might have to watch this with subtitles. But when it's loud and you hear that score, that boom, and you feel it, I was loving it. I was loving every minute of it, so I didn't mind that. When it was going with the visuals, when something was really happening, like a chase sequence or the final act, holy shit, the final act is absolutely insane, guys. Like, I wonder how hard it was, how difficult it was to do this final act, because you got big, large groups of people moving forwards and backwards, so they had to film everything in such a way. And you can kind of tell, and even with like the car sequences, they had to like do the whole back up and forward thing. I mean, it must have been pretty damn difficult to do all this, and then to make sure that it all like works out, because you can get a little confused, like, wait, who's moving forwards, who's moving backwards? What the fuck? It's crazy. But I was so obsessed with, did they film this like them like actually running backwards but they're going forwards? I was kind of like trying to pinpoint that, and it was kind of difficult, not gonna lie. So that must have been a pretty difficult task to do. And then of course you got John David Washington, which he's a great leading man. Okay, I mean, this guy's gonna be come on, it's Denzel's kid, and it really comes out in this movie. Like Black Klansman, couldn't really tell. Like, that's Denzel's kid. But this one, he's got that Denzel strut, that swagger, and you could hear the inflection in his voice, and he really leads on. And then Robert Pattinson really compliments him as a co-star. And you like Robert Pattinson's character because he's a bit of a wild card. You're like, he's so likable, but you also question, who is he exactly? How does he know, like, a lot of things, maybe? I don't know. Totally forgot Aaron Taylor Johnson was in this. Totally forgot. And when he shows up, I was like, Christopher Nolan write this part thinking about Tom Hardy? Because I could totally see Tom Hardy playing this role. I could be wrong. It just felt like that. But he does a good job with his role. And I mean, there's not really much more I could say about it. I mean, it's twisty, it's turny. The way it's edited, the scope of this thing is pretty magical. Is it one of Nolan's best? I mean, it's up there, but it's not going to beat out Inception. It's not going to beat out. I mean, I'm kind of toying with, do I like it more than Interstellar? Probably not. I want to see it again now that I know everything, because immediately when the credits roll, of course, you want to watch it again, because you figure out like, oh, this is what was happening. Now you want to go back and watch and be like, well, because he leaves like, he just kind of shows you little things that like end up adding up like 10 minutes later or something like that. It's pretty crazy. And I just want to see the stuff that I miss and try to pinpoint certain things that I won't reveal because it'll be spoilers. And hopefully I could do a spoiler review because I kind of want to talk about it. Maybe we'll do that on a live stream or something like that, have a discussion with some of the others that have seen it, because there's just a lot to talk about when it comes to the whole physics game and the way that it all plays out and the way that the whole inversion thing works out. I mean, it can be, like I said, it can be kind of confusing, but after you see the resolution, you kind of go, okay, you kind of get what's going on. And like I said, you just want to immediately watch it again because it's going to be a different lens this time. And I can't wait, but I don't know if I'm going to drive an hour and a half south just to watch a movie again. Open up the theaters, Newsom. Over here, please. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. But there you go, guys. If I had a favorite wall of 2020, which obviously there hasn't been that much that came out, I would put this on the favorite wall of 2020. And like I said, if you're a fan of Christopher Nolan, you'll like this movie. Like I said, you're probably going to have to watch it twice. Pay attention. You really got to pay attention. Yes, it is very loud, but it works for the most part. Sometimes, yes, when it comes to the audio of the dialogue, it gets a little muffled, especially when they're wearing masks. So you gotta watch that there. So, but anyways, guys, there you go. There you have it. That is my review of Tenet. Let me know if you saw it down below and what you thought about it. Hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when I do that. Follow me on the sock meds, mainly Twitter, Instagram. I'm mainly active on that. I have a Facebook. Don't really do that much, too much. But I also got a Patreon. If you want to check that out too, guys. Want to become a patron of the Film Junkie Empire? Do so. And of course, shirts and stickers down below. All right, guys. My ears are still ringing. Talk to you later.